Hello and welcome. I'm Darkness here alongside the Schwans 27. We're bringing you another Worlds Collide Wednesday. This is going to be Chocobo Golden Chocobo seed for the upcoming Chocobo Invitational, which starts this Saturday, I believe. So this will be a fun preview for that. Again, alongside me in the booth is the Schwans, who's also doing tracking and setting up all the tournament stuff, the race stuff. So big thanks to him. Got anything to say, Schwans? Or are you too busy telling them when the
No,
goal
not
starts?
never too busy for you, Darkness. This is going to be a wonderful race tonight. We've got four incredibly talented runners on the screen, including the one and only Drinks Glue, the commish for the Chocobo Invitational. In the upper right-hand corner, first time, long time, Taylor Swifting. First time on Restream, I believe, for them for SpeedGaming. And then we have stalwart Nani Gray in the bluish trim. What color is that? Blue-gray?
Yeah, blue-gray. Nice. Yeah.
Cauliflower, one of those cool colors from the Crayola box of 64. And then we have Leo in the bottom right with the mint green. I can almost taste his his layout there. So Darkness, we are doing the golden Chocobo flag set. So you want to tell us a little bit about what that means for our runners?
Yeah, so the Chocobo flag set in general is basically a bit of a difference from the normal Ultras League. So it's meant to be a bit easier. Still 6 characters, 9 espers required. But you do get a few starting items, which is unique to a special fork made by Jazer that gives us the option for that. Also unique to that is the Rizupass boss fight, which starts with a bunch of piranhas. The piranhas last for exactly 15 seconds. Normally in Worlds Collide, it's randomized between 5 and 55, but with it being exactly 15 seconds, it makes it a lot faster on average, and also is just nice to know. It allows you to sort of do setups to make it easier instead of just holding A. But other than that, there's 45% equip rate, which characters that can't equip things normally in the vanilla game have a 45% chance to be able to equip it anyway. Character stats are between 90 and 125%, so it's a bit stronger, at least on the bottom end, than compared to Ultras League. And no auction house, so we won't be seeing that, which I'm always glad about. Shock, which is a very powerful ability, is in the pool. And also the custom item world reward pool is a bit stronger than it is in Ultras League. You can also get curse shields from it, which is unique compared to most flag sets. And if we happen to see multiple curse shields, there are some very weird things you can do with uncursing them. That's unique to Worlds Collide, I guess, because normally you can't get more than one. But yeah, those are the general Chocobo flag sets, and the golden Chocobo is sort of like a mix or like a special subset that's added on top of it. It adds a bunch of checks, which are combined from the other two flag sets, the river and the mountain Chocobos flag sets, and so you get high tier armor for completing Mount Zozo, or for completing the Serpent Trench. You get a high tier weapon for completing Tritalk or Elite River. You get plus 15 magic power for completing Mount Colts or Barren Falls. You get plus 25 vigor for completing Esper Mountain or both Doma Siege and Imperial Camp. And you get a high tier relic for completing killing either the Blue Dragon or the Dirt Dragon. So lots of ways on top of the starting items you get to begin with, which definitely helps out. There's lots of ways to get extra things on top of that with all those objectives. So it should start out, pretty fast. And then once you get a few of those objectives, it should go like zoom. So this should be a pretty fast seed. But I don't know, have you played this once, or do you got any thoughts on it? Or
yeah, I have not actually played the golden Chocobo flag set. I played some of the other ones, and I really like the rewards for some of the checks that you do beyond the normal get the sword text, get the Magitech upgrade. I think it makes routing decisions a little bit different than the de facto standard of just go do all of the fastest checks most of the time, right? So I like that wrinkle in it. We're going to get our runner started here in just a second. I have no idea what's going on with Taylor Swifting's cropping. Apparently, it's the curse of the first time runner here on SpeedGaming. So let me tell the runners that they'll be ready to go, and we'll get started in just a second.
Yeah, but anyway,
Right.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Trying to fill the dead air. But yeah, I think this should be a fun race. We should be getting started, yeah, in a couple seconds. So, whatever the stream delay winds up being. But yeah, we see Nani going through all those different things you can get. Is there anything else I missed?
Gotta love
so
it. Yeah, Kefka
yeah.
Tower skip at 21 checks. So
Oh, yeah.
that'll be interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll monitor that when our runners get closer to unlocking and defeating the final boss of the game, which is the goal of this randomizer, right? As far as what things are randomized, the starting characters we get, their abilities, where the bosses and dragons are, where you can recruit new characters. What else is sort of randomized? Things in chests,
all the
things
chests,
in shops.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a treasure hunt, which is always a lot of fun. So let's see. We have a Gao. I didn't see if we have anything else, but we at least have a Gao.
Yep.
There we go.
A
Gao,
Mog,
Mog, and Edgar. Nice.
So Gao will get us the Serpent Trench check, so that's one of the plethora of bonus objectives we can do. I don't think Edgar or Mog have any. You can double check, but yeah, no, it's mostly like Cyan and Sabin and Realm, I think.
Oh, okay. We finally got one decent rage at the very, very bottom. We do start with dried meat, so Taylor Swifting entering Skloo heading right over to the Veld, which is a pretty cool heads-up play for them there.
Yeah, normally in Ultras League, yeah, you can't do that. You gotta search through a few towns until you finally find dried meat, which is always annoying, because, yeah, you don't really want a check to be locked around, having to find something in a shop. But meanwhile, on the bottom side of the screen, we got, Leo and Nani deciding to do...
oh no. Drink Skloo with a hefty reset. We do get a Magicite there, Phoenix. So that's our first one on the board there. I did see we have tools on one of our characters. We've got Dragoon Boots there in the shop for Leo. So that is good for both Mog and Edgar, because they could equip all of the best lances in the game. And that is a pretty Fuego Esper, if I've ever seen one, with Tre Fuego on it, which is really, really nice.
I have to assume Glue accidentally used the dried meat on himself, and that's why he reset, because that would have been, obviously, if you use the dried meat on yourself, that means you don't have any more to use on the check, so it's probably just easier to reset than to try hope you find it somewhere else in a shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and manually crop Taylor here, because I don't know what's going on with this tool. So why don't you take over for a minute while I push more buttons?
But yeah, so Taylor, doing what I like to do often, which is go to World of Ruin, South Figaro, especially with Edgar, because Edgar gets half off all the shops here if you happen to have him as your party leader. He also gets half off the shops in Figaro Castle, where Drink School is, just picking up that Atma weapon. So it's always nice to come here early, because you could potentially find some good things in the shops that you get them half off, and worst case scenario, you can go sell them later on and get your money back. So always worth it to be buying stuff half off, even if you already have most of the things you'd want, like potions and Phoenix Downs and sleeping bags. You only start with like 20 sleeping bags, and you generally want to have like about 25 to 30. So, and like same with like Phoenix Downs, you start with 7. You generally need like a few more, or it would generally be nice to have a few more. You definitely can get through with your starting items, but it can be a bit touch and go. So it's always nice to find a few more, even if you do get them to start with. Midnight Gray choosing to actually go in the Bounce Safigar, where you do not get the half-off price, sadly.
The good news is you can loot the chests more than once, which is nice.
You know, I always I have a very weird routing pattern where I start World of Ruins South Figaro and then do both sends and then come back to World of Balance South Figaro, because yeah, you do get to at least all the outdoor chests you can loot twice in both times in South Figaro.
Well, not only that, it's nice to get the Edgar discount as well.
Yeah, you see Taylor picking up a few more of those Revivifies and Seed Mags, even though, you know, we started with them. Still nice to have a few extras. Ooh, Flame Shields for sale. Always nice if you ever find like Murden or anything, or you know, or just nice to have in general.
Yeah. Looks like Drinks Glue has an ice shield in their inventory already, so we already have one elemental shield, which will teach us some magic, which is always nice.
Yeah, and plus they're half off too. They're being in World of Ruins South Figaro, so that's, you know, massive to be able to pick up 2 for the price of 1. And I mean, if you ever needed the money for something else, you can always resell them and get all your money back, as mentioned previously. Oh,
it's kind of like an infinite money glitch.
Yeah. Yep. Taylor getting slightly body blocked there by the NPC. Always a favorite of Final Fantasy VI. Just, you know, the NPCs just rule the land. You are at their mercy. Can definitely be annoying, but thankfully got out of the way fairly quickly. Didn't see if Glue chose to go into the basement. I don't think he did, but maybe trying to make up for a bit of lost time. Instead, yep, choosing to do our first check only 5 minutes in, or, well, I guess second check, first real check, because, you know, speaking of getting body blocked, but the Velt fight is, I mean, it's basically a free check.
Yeah, if you die to Lobo, then we're in trouble. All right, I think I finally cropped Taylor to be decent enough. There's still some work I'll need to do, but we'll adjust that as the stream time goes on. This Returner's hideout area is not an easy one to crop in because most of it's black background anyway. So we'll see. All right, so Blitz is the other thing that we've got on Edgar here, and we've got Mog taking up Edgar's mantle for doing tools. Thankfully, we have we have a Merton Rage already out the gate. Look at this.
Yep,
Drinks Glue, excellent game play knowledge there to know, you know, your rages. I usually don't remember a lot of the Merton Rages because they're not all that helpful without having all the elemental shields that you got. Wooly is a really nice rage with Ice 3 and a lot of protection. And speaking of ice, there's some ice rods there for Leo in the store. Gonna pick up a few of those. Always nice to have rods. They are powerful at basically any time throughout the seed.
Yeah, the one thing, I mean, with those half-off flame shields, I mean, they're almost as cheap as rods are. I don't think the rods were half-off, right? Yeah, so it's like full-price rods like about 10k, and half-off shields for only 15k. It's like, almost rather save the money for shields, although, of course, Leo hasn't been here yet, so they do not know that there are shields here.
All right, 2 runners on the right side are bopping around South Figaro, and we've got Glue just going through the Serpent Trench. There's a reward for going through the Serpent Trench. Is that correct, or is it Barren Falls?
There is Serpent Trench. Is high tier armor, so either Snowmuffler or Minerva. So I mean, not, you know, generally armor is the least important of the things, but still, Serpent Trench is a great place to do early because it's all random or fixed encounters, so it's all regular enemies, no boss fight at the end. So always nice to do it to start, and then yeah, I mean, if you're gonna get bonus armor out of it, you know, it makes it even better. But
especially because
interesting.
the snow mufflers, both Gao and Mog, can naturally equip them, so that's really, really nice.
Yeah. But meanwhile, Taylor choosing to do some grind fights outside of Edgar's checks, so I assume he's going to do Edgar's checks here. But, yeah, also, yeah, we saw Taylor go back into World of Ruin South Regarded by another Flame Shield, so now everyone's getting that healing bonus from the Merlin spam. Him, yep. Taylor also showing off that he knows the rages very well.
Very nice.
Yep. I definitely would not know which rage is Merlin off the top of my head.
Oh, hello, Setzer.
Ooh.
So there's some more checks with throw. Nice. Very, very nice.
Yep. Throw, probably the best ability in the game from a pure damage aspect. Oh, so it's always nice to have. I think we saw throwables. I think in Narsh or somewhere, but probably check the weapon shop here, see if there, or end item shop, just to see if there's any other stuff. Oop, there's something. Yep, more fire skins. Pick up a few of those. Always nice to have. Yeah, it's interesting to see Taylor do the
Phoenix
grind.
Is such a good Esper. Oh my gosh, I didn't even. I just saw Fire 3. It's got Life 2, Berserk, and Pearl, and Magic Power +1. That's insane. Another nice Esper pickup from Drinks Glue there with Fenrir. That'll be good for the very end. And oh boy, we got a couple of Durgans.
Well, if you can survive this is like massive experience. But if you can't survive this, I mean, you know, you die. Unfortunately, that was a physical hit, not Murden. Because Murden would have full healed him, but sadly, unfortunately,
this is
going to be back down to 1 HP.
This is one of those fights where you're always clenching the whole time, because if they do something other than Fallen 1, then you're in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, I think they can only do Fallen 1 as a counter, so I think... Oh yeah, there's a fireball. Unfortunately, it's a wide fireball, so that... Well, I know that's good, because they're fire. They all have flame shields, so we're good.
Yes, yes. Welk at the Search the Sky spot. Another one of Setzer's checks here. And Leo looks like they're going to go right for a dragon with all of the rods that they've got.
White dragon, definitely not the dragon you want to see here. You can open with anywhere up to 3 attacks. Thankfully, only 1 attack there with the Pearl. So definitely could have just been an instant wipe, so very lucky to get through that. And hopefully if Flame Shield should one-shot, and then, yep. So smart on Leo there to... No, they have enough power with those shields to get through it. Obviously, it would have been bad if it was the Flame Dragon, or Red Dragon, but because then it wouldn't have absorbed it. But I think they have an Ice Shield anyway, so they would have been able to just unequip that. You get a Minerva out of it. Sadly, no blue or dirt dragon.
I'll take that trade every day.
Mm-hmm.
Glue did not get a Esper from that check. That's only Esper item. I didn't actually see what item it was, so if anybody in the chat knows, they could fill us in.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I missed it as well. It's a bit hard to pay attention to what everyone gets when there's 4 people racing at the same time.
Yep. Merchant Sprite here for Taylor Swifting, so we are not going to be getting a character here at the engine room check. We could also head straight down to Ancient Castle directly afterwards, so it's a nice little wombo combo here of sorts. And we got racers going in 4 different directions. Drinks Glue following that Setzer chain into Daryl's tomb, which is the last of Setzer's checks, and that's all 3 of them already. So that's how quickly we can exhaust Setzer's stuff. Leo going to the top of the World of Ruin here, ostensibly for the dragon and for the Tritok spot.
Yep. Always a bit of risk coming here with only 3 characters, just because Humano's check is also here behind the Tritok spot, and you don't generally want to have to come up here twice. It's about like a minute and a half walk or so. But think with the reward, it makes it a bit better off. Whereas generally, I'd probably want to wait till I already have 5 or 6 characters without the reward.
SpeedGaming 5 coming in hot with the raid. Thank you so much. Welcome to Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. This is the Final Fantasy VI randomizer, where our runners have to find our characters and espers and then go take down a clown atop Kefka's tower. Meanwhile, we have Guardian on our grabby pasta there over in the engine room. Thankfully, we have a Thunder Rod that we picked up somewhere along the way, but this will be a difficult fight if we didn't have Merton healing ourselves, essentially. And it's too bad we do not have a air anchor for this fight here for Drinks Glue with Narapa. But he's just going to get rid of the shield, blow this away, and move on to the next one here, which I believe Sabin was written on the tombstone, so we're getting yet another character.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they use the ice shield there. I think they'd have Orbital at this point, and well, I'm pretty sure Orbital does not get reflected, so could use that. Narapa is definitely annoying because they have innate reflect and they're immune to 5 of the 8 elements, but they are not immune to ice, lightning, or holy, so could have used Orbital, I believe, or something else. But you know, still, it's nice to get out of the fight very quickly. There's definitely a chance that the Orbital wouldn't have one-shot, and he would have had to wait for his turn to come back around.
Leo grabbing a Ragnarok reward from the Tritok spot, and then also getting another high-tier weapon. So that makes sense as to why we saw that check there. And it looks like it was a Pearl Lance for the weapon, perhaps? Or was it another
I think it was the second Ragnarok,
I'm not quite
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I think it was the
nice.
second Ragnarok that they could not, neither of the other 2 characters could equip, sadly. But still, I mean, we're going to be getting up at least 3 characters later on, so you can always find someone else that can hopefully equip it. Glue, meanwhile, trying to take on the dragon themselves now that they're a bit more powered up. Thankfully surviving the White Dragon's early onslaught there.
Yeah, a lot of our runners here just using all of the resources at their disposal, using rods pretty early and shields, right? With the half-price flame shields, it makes sense to want to use them as a resource. Another Esper there for Taylor Swifting, so that's 2 for 2 here in the Edgar checks. Gonna grab this dragon. Not the blue dragon. We have not seen that one yet.
Or the Dirt Dragon. We haven't seen that either. Those are the 2 that give rewards from this, so it would be nice to see those. And we should mention that it is for killing the dragon specifically, not for killing the spots. We have seen technically the vanilla, dirt, and blue dragon spots, but you don't get anything for defeating the dragon at those locations. You have to defeat the specific dragon, which could be at any of the 8 dragon spots.
Right, the dragons are shuffled amongst themselves, similar to how the bosses are shuffled amongst themselves. So we're not going to see the same dragon or boss twice.
Yep.
We got double dragon kills, a Narapa kill from Nani Gray, and okay, it was an Esper reward here at Search the Sky. I must have been reading Drinks Glue's tracker wrong. Seraphim is what we got. So let me bump that up for Mr. Glue there.
Now Nani choosing to go over to Tritok spot as well, it looks like. Makes sense. Again, oh nope, just going for the heals. Never mind. They baited me out. Or maybe they're just going to save and check stuff. We shall see.
All right, Drinks Glue giving us our first look at Sabin, one of Sabin's 5 checks here at the collapsing house. Ghost holding up the house, so we are not going to get a character here. We're almost at 6 characters, and whenever I get to either my character go mode or my Esper go mode, that sort of alters how I'm going to be doing the rest of the seed, as we see an Esper pickup there from Drinks Glue at the Tizen Thief, and one from Nani Gray there at the Colin Janin. And Taylor Swifting rounding out Edgar's checks, grabbing the throne at the end there. Don't need the Atma weapon quite yet, so it's fine to have left that on the throne for a little bit. That's always the worry for me when not doing the throne straight away and instead combining it with the rest of the Edgar World of Ruin checks is that I'm missing out on something that's pretty good.
Yeah, although considering this is the first checks he's done, it's not really missing out on that much. They could have routed it differently so they went to the throne before they went into Ancient Castle, but still probably didn't really change that much. But,
all right, Nani Gray heading back into Narsh, grabbing some shurikens on the way up for that throw Setzer that we found. And it looks like Shadow is peeking out of the Umaro hull, so we know where yet another character is if we end up getting Umaro. And it looks like we're going to do the Lone Wolf and Kefka at Narsh loop here for them. Another couple of Espers for Glue and Leo there. So we're not even 20 minutes into the seed, and Drinks Glue has 5 characters and 5 Espers. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, I mean, well, it shows the power of just ending your shopping early. And we saw Glue literally wasted a minute having to reset from the Velt check, but still started their first check 5.5 minutes in, even with that. So basically did 4.5 minutes. It's probably less because they probably spent another minute doing the Gao check. So they probably spent 3 minutes shopping. So, that's the power of
thinking about going to get another Atma weapon, but deciding against it. And let's see what's here.
Flame Shield.
Of course.
Free 15k, I guess.
Yeah. I'm never mad at getting an elemental shield, right? It's something to eat at the final boss. But yeah, with the fact that we can buy flame shields, that was not exactly the best item we probably could have gotten there.
Yeah, I think if the sword had been an Illumina, I probably would have felt differently. But I think with the ammo weapon at only level 13, because the damage is based on level, it's basically useless at level 13. You want to get back to level 30 before you can really start using it. So it makes sense to save it. I mean, you can always come back into World of Ruin Narsh. It takes about 45 seconds to go and get that if you want it, which is probably worth it, I would think. But we'll see if they decide to ever come back. But yeah, Glue showing off the power of Sabin with having 2 checks that will give bonuses. One of these being Barren Falls, the other being Mount Colts. Just about to do Barren Falls, so gonna get what is it? Sweet plus 15 magic power. So that's gonna really help out those Merlin casts be a bit more potent.
A bit unfortunate getting unlucky with level question Pearl, but thankfully was not a party wipe there for Nani Gray. And since Dullahan is weak to fire, this should go pretty well for them here. Everybody hopping on the Merton Rage train, and oh my goddess. Oof. Yeah, this is going to be a rough one here. Although we've got flame shields and we know how to use them. So
yeah.
Glue showing off that he's not afraid to use those consumables. Remember, folks, if you have them in your inventory at the end of the stream, they're just burning a hole in your pocket. So if you got them, then flaunt them.
Yeah, unfortunately, gonna prevent us from using, or Glue from using Burden. I mean, you could still use it, but then you take a sweet burden to the face. But Glue or Gal already taking a Bolt's Hedge to the face or whatever it was. So not much different. Oof.
All right, so Kefka Narsh was an Esper. So that's another Esper for our other corner runners. And it looks like we've got a... Yeah, so it looks like Sabin is the path forward through the seed based on everything that we know. So the thing about Worlds Collide is you are always able to find all of the characters, which then in turn means you can do all of the checks in any given seed. That's how the logic is laid out. So we know kind of how to get through a seed based on what the seed is giving us as well.
Yep, and pretty sure we've seen basically all the checks I don't think there's anywhere else it could a character could be at this point. But yeah, always.
Not in the first couple of
Yep.
checks, right? I think we did all of them up there. Even Setzer's 3 checks too.
Yeah. It was Serpent Trench was the only place that gives a character, because yes, Serpent Trench was Setzer, and then Sabin was from Setzer's check.
A bit of a linear affair, but that's okay. When that happens, it usually is up to character routing and just execution. Rexel here, not the thing we want to see with flame shields, but thankfully we still have an ice shield for Taylor Swifting to go grab that. Get an offering there for Drinks Glue to use with that Atma weapon we picked up on the throne.
Yep, but yeah, the ice shield always nice to have versus Rexel. Rexel is weak to ice, but has insanely high magic defense. So even with the ice weakness, if you just use like a normal ice spell, you're not going to be doing that much damage. But ice rods and ice shields ignore defense, so get all that beautiful double damage from the weakness without, and also still get to ignore defense, which is always nice.
All right, so then our question, Darkness, is where is our next character? It's got to be at either Imperial Camp or Mount Cults at this point, right? Or on the Phantom Train. Those are our 3 choices. So chat, where do you think our next character will be? Those are your 3 choices: Phantom Train, Imperial Camp, or Mount Cults.
I'll go Mount Cults. I think we're going to see it pretty soon, since it also gives bonuses, and yep. Well, we know this isn't a character now, so
okay,
we're down to 2 options.
Yeah, I always like a nice little train ride. The thing with Phantom Train is you could actually see what the reward is before you do the whole thing, which is very nice. So I'm suspecting that's what we'll probably be doing next, is going to peek the train and reset out if that's not our character, because then we know it's at Mount Cults.
Yep. Well, yeah, it'd be interesting just because if Phantom Train is an Esper and not a character, it'll be interesting to see if they choose to do it regardless, because still do need a few Espers. I think you probably would. I don't know what you think, but I think as long as it's not dead, I would probably do Phantom Train, regardless if it's character or Esper.
Yeah, it's such a long. It's a long check, but also like we don't know who else the other character is, right? And with the characters that we have left in the pool, there's not a lot of them that have a lot of super duper fast checks, right? If it was Celeste, then we would have Magitech Factory, which is 2 very quick checks that are Esper item only, and then the South Figaro Basement, which is pretty fast, right? That would probably be my ideal choice if I could pick whatever character I could find next, right? Because at that point, we'd have 6 characters and just need the 3 Espers. But, beggars can't be choosers here, so.
I think that's kind of why I would rather do Colts first, because then I either know what the 6th character is, or I know that it's going to be a character at Phantom Train for sure. Well, of course, Glue doesn't technically know that because he hasn't done all the checks yet, but
right, he hasn't done any of Edgar's stuff.
Yeah, but
proving once again why fading Edgar's checks is a good idea. All right,
his Magistrate, and they will seemingly choose to.
Oh, that's a terrible.
Nope,
Esper.
they're gonna reset. Yep, they're gonna be like, "This is terrible Esper. I don't want it."
Sorry, Terra's Data. Nani Gray, interestingly, picked up a flame shield in one of the chests right before this engine room. I did not see any of the other runners do that. They might have, but I don't remember. This seed is just giving out, elemental shields all over the place, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw Taylor skip those 4 chests there. I'm not sure about if I think there's someone else that went down here. I think Leo went down here. I don't remember if they skipped it or not.
All right, so by process of elimination, our runners on the right know that the only spot where they can get their character is through the Serpent Trench, which, interestingly enough, like you mentioned, Darkness, is usually a really good place to start because it's no bosses, 3 to 5 fixed encounters, but with all of the stuff this seed gave us, it made sense to perhaps not go here, right? We had Merton, we had cheap shields, we had lots of different options to get through some early boss checks.
Yeah, I think, Leo definitely, I feel like, got punished for doing a smart strat with choosing to use the dragon, killing the dragon for levels instead. Because, I think that's probably a better option with all the power we had. Taylor, I'll definitely be interested in asking Taylor why they chose to do Edgar's checks instead, because, I mean, I think this is the first time I've ever seen someone start with the walk and grind into Edgar's checks, but so it's definitely sort of an off-meta strat, I would say, but definitely maybe that's why they did it. Maybe that is why they did it, or maybe, they just, trying stuff out. Don't know, I have to ask them. But Taylor finally picks up their 4th character.
Yeah, when everybody does the quote-unquote correct play or the optimal play, then that means you're just going up against people on a pure skill basis, right? So maybe going left when everybody else goes right can give you an advantage.
Oh, and it is Terra, so that's another. If we want to do Elite Rever, which is like one of the worst checks in the game, is another bonus we can get, but doubt we'll see that. Was it Lore, I think?
Lore and natural magic. That's a pretty decent Terra, but our party is pretty well established at this point.
Yeah, I think I would have taken Terra over somebody, but I understand not bringing her along. I think.
Yeah, the thing is, Glue did not get the double Ragnarok goodness at Tritalk, right? So I think that might have made their decision a little bit easier, or had they gone there. So Terra has 5 checks. There's a couple of them that are pretty quick. There's this one here. If you are not the loot goblin that Drinks Glue is, you could just run all the way to the end pretty easily.
Oh, they're only half loot goblining. Interesting.
That's it's almost as if they heard me say stop looting and go to the end of the there's also the Welk spot, which we kind of were already in the neighborhood of when we did Mog's checks, although I don't think Drinks Glue did Mog's stuff yet, question mark.
He is not.
Okay. So that might be his next area for him, because there's a lot of checks now in World of Balanced Narsh. There's 4 for Drinks Glue with Terra and Mog. Zozo Tower is a little bit on the lengthy side. Elite River is even longer, but it gives you a reward. And then Mobila's weak peak, so that's also an option on the table, right? Because he's got 6 characters, just needs Espers to get to that unlock. Let me do some sleuthing here, and it looks like they are running ads on their Twitch, so I can't tell you how many checks they've got. But some of our other runners are at, so Taylor's at 11, Nani Gray at 10, and Leo at 13 at the moment. Remember, dragons do count as checks.
Yep, it's 21 for skip. Doesn't matter how many characters or espers you get, unlike in like normal Ultras League, where it's if you get 3 more characters or espers than you need for unlock, then that gives you skip as well. But nope, just 21 checks. Looks like Curse Shield. Well, there's our first Curse Shield. So a bit late though, I think, unfortunately.
Yeah. The Curse Shield count is what, 7?
7. Yep, guaranteed 7.
Yeah. Okay.
If you happen to find a second, it works. So I kind of alluded to this in the beginning, but if you find a second, it works weirdly, where if you equip both of them, instead of both of them taking 7 like battles, one of them will get decursed twice as fast. So if you happen to find a second, like the next check, then that is a viable option if you're okay with 2 of your party members being cursed. Or I think you could just double equip one of them. But yeah, I think 7 battles is a bit too much at this point. And we do have Murden anyway, so it's like Ultima, it would be nice, but we have a bunch of flame shields and Murden, so we're good in terms of damage absorption and damage dealing, I think.
All right, Nani Gray using Berserk on the Gold Dragon, one of 2 major enemies where Berserk is definitely a help. The other one is the infamous Magi Master fight.
Yeah, outside of that glass, we haven't really run into everyone's favorite annoying enemies. Who unfortunately could not
that could just mean that they're going to be in Kefka's Tower, right?
Yep, that would be
one can only hope.
Yep. I've definitely had seeds where the statues were unintentionally shuffled among themselves in those 4 Kefka Tower spots. They can't be found anywhere, as we saw with the goddess, so we won't see that, but could still see Pulti and Doom. Speaking of Doom, we get triple freeze there onto Jinx Glue by the Ice Dragon. Vanilla Ice Dragon, in fact.
Ew. Yeah, so this will be Jinx Glue's double trouble of Ragnarok bubble here.
Yep. I don't know if he ever picked up the offering or not, or if... Oh, no, yeah, he must have got one. I think he just... Ooh.
Oh, boy!
Pull life there from the storm. So we're just going to sit in timeout for a bit. I hope he saved, or maybe he didn't, based on the fact that he's not just resetting.
Well, listen, Glue was going so fast, the Seed's like, whoa, slow down here, buddy.
Yep.
Not only do we get the freeze here, but also the check at the top of this, the Tritalk spot, as we alluded to, is not going to reward an Esper. And it's loot pinata time. Or, I'm sorry, XP pinata time. And we have an air anchor, which is nice.
Yep, no. Gal finally gets out and can fire 3 it to death, so... Yeah,
bit of a speed bump there for Glue.
But, yeah. We'll be back on track shortly.
Yet another flame shield is the reward from that dragon there. Meanwhile, Taylor is the one in our Esper lead right now with 8 of them. So numbers are catching back up with Glue.
Yeah, well, definitely it can suck to be stuck on 3 characters for a while if those early checks aren't like that bad, and you don't they're not dead. They're like mostly Espers. Then you can catch it back up very quickly once you find those like 4th and 5th characters. Oh, and Glue gonna be very sad. He has to fight his idol here, Yamaro, here at the Tritalk spot.
Get your dabs in the chat if you got them, folks. Alright, so we know that the way through the seed is pretty linear, right? We got to go to Mount Colts eventually. How quickly will our runners go to Mount Colts here? That is the question.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think I would probably do Imperial Camp, then Mount Colts. I think Imperial Camp is peakable. So Taylor... well, unfortunately, this isn't an Esper, so they would have to go through all of Imperial Camp just to potentially get an Esper. But if they were at 9, then they could literally just reset once they saw it wasn't a character. But I still think it's probably the best one to do. Since there's
Leo throwing Sabin into the party. Sabin can use one of those Ragnaroks that we've picked up along the way, so... very interesting turn of events. Both Figure Bros going to be swinging big swords here for Leo's party. We'll see if Nani Gray makes the same decision there, because they will be getting their Ragnarok's just in a second.
On Glue's End for more earrings and maybe a billion flame shields, I would assume.
All of the flame shields.
Yeah.
I mean, this makes sense, right? The problem with magic attacks is that they do take longer animation-wise. Is Glue going to the Coliseum? He's buying like a bunch of random junk.
I think he's just buying armor just because probably hasn't seen that much and just wants like something better than the starting gear, I would assume.
Well, maybe he is just very, very cautious now after that fun with the Ice Dragon.
Yep.
Right.
They were all helmets though, sadly, and helmets generally speaking not gonna help you that much. But still better than nothing. We do still have enough money there if we find some decent armor, you could buy something else maybe.
All right.
We will
Shiva
go up
for
to Marsh.
Leo. Bottom of Barren Falls there for Taylor, and Nani Gray making a pit stop. If only they knew that they were going to get an offering at some point soon.
Yep, very sad, but
There's that offering we just talked about.
yep.
Yeah, also no drops on the pugs, which is a bit unfortunate. But I don't think anybody in this party could wear that Minerva anyway, so I don't think it would have helped. It's a nice pile of cash, right?
Yep.
But
and I mean Terra obviously can equip it if we decide to bring her in, but generally speaking, not really a great reason to bring someone in just for better armor. But I mean, I think Terra is probably worth bringing in regardless, but don't know.
all right, Taylor's doing the thing here. We'll be getting their Sabin, so we'll be one away from go mode. Yeah, you got a feel for Drinks Glue. Was that 5 characters, 5 espers at 20 minutes into the seed, and now 20 minutes later has only grabbed 1 more character and 1 more esper. That do be sometimes how it be.
Yep. But we got four checks here. I'm pretty sure most of them were espers, so I think we should be unlocked once we get through all of these for glue. And Taylor gonna be right behind him with the Sabin, and then not the Sabin, the Terra, and then presumably one of Terra's checks will get them in Esper as well.
Oh, and here's our Piranha buddies.
Yep, you see that 15-second timer being put to good use there. Just kill all but one of the enemies, wait till the 15 seconds comes up, and then kill the last one, and boom. First the Piranha phase dealt with.
All right, right side going through Mount Cult, so we're going to see character number 6 for them. We have a goddess fight here, and I didn't quite see what the reward might be here at Welk, but we'll see it in just a second.
Did Leo come here first, or because I don't remember seeing him go to whatchamacallit, like Barren Falls or any of the other Sabin checks?
Yeah, no, this is a let's go do this. I'm assuming it's because we've got our characters that are using a bit of magic here, so it makes sense to go get this bonus.
Yeah, it's interesting because, generally speaking, it's a bit of a slower check Mount Colts compared to like Barren Falls, which also gives plus magic power, but definitely paying off with it being Terra. I'm interested to see if they choose to bring Terra in with all those big sticks they found. Nope, choose not to.
Oh, I must have been miscounting there. That is an unlock complete there for Leo. So I must have missed an Esper on their side.
Leo stormed into the lead with that. It just goes to show how powerful that early dragon start can be, because he's been burning through the checks even with last locationing. I'm pretty sure the Serpent Trench is just you have so much power, you can just burn through all those checks, all those bosses very quickly. And definitely,
I think his problem is going to be levels here. I don't know if you saw, he's just barely over 30, which is going to be a struggle getting through Kefka's Tower with party members that low in levels.
Yep. Looks like they're doing Barren Falls as well, so do you happen to know how many checks Leo is at? Because
yeah, let's see here. We're at 18 before going into Barren Falls, so we're getting close.
So, yep, 1 check plus going down mid. Interesting that they choose to do this. I think I don't know. I mean, obviously, knowing that as Goddess makes me not want to do this.
Yes. If you didn't know this was Goddess, this would definitely be faster, because the cutscene of the
Yeah.
party jumping into Kefka's tower is probably longer than the cutscene jumping onto Barren Falls and getting washed out at the bottom, right? So
Yeah. Well, I was thinking more so doing like whatchamacallit, one of Terra's checks instead of doing this, but I think it makes sense to, you get some levels from the fight, and yeah, it's probably faster than doing the wall check it, and you get the bonus out of it. It's just unfortunate that happens to be one of the toughest bosses in the game.
Ice Dragon being very unkind to everybody, basically.
With another triple freeze there.
Drink School, I think, will be in go mode after this Moogle defense, right? Because that'll be Esper number 9 for them, and they are also at 18 checks going into this one here. Nani Gray going to be picking up their Terra. They are at 13 checks for them, and for Taylor, we are at 17 now.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a wipe for Leo there. It's be interesting to see if they choose to go to a different check. I think after seeing his goddess, I'd probably just want to do Welk or something. Just not bang my head too much on that. No, I only need one check plus going down mid lane to get my skip, so don't really want to waste too much time.
Oh no!
Ooh, jeez, they have not saved in a while. That is
my
really
goodness! Bad. Yeah, so I'm gonna put the tracker number. So Leo has thrown in the towel, but this is where they got reset to. That's a big yikes.
Yep, that's oh, geez, yeah, that's yeah, losing 3 characters and 6 Espers. Yep, that's why you always be saving, even if you're got tons of power. There was one time where I went to Phantom Train, and I reset out of it because it wasn't what I needed, and then I realized I hadn't saved in like 4 checks. I was like, oops, not playing through this one, oops. I guess.
Oopsie oops is definitely right. Yeah, so saving takes all of like 3 or 4 seconds, and if you don't save, you can lose minutes, right? So over the course of the run, if you save like 20 times, right, that's just adding 1 minute or so onto your time, maybe a minute and a half, but yeah, that's the risk here.
Yeah, and you can see the in-game timer of 22 minutes compared to his actual timer. And then the in-game timer is a bit slower. So I think it doesn't count like load times or stuff like that. But definitely, it's only like maybe like 25 minutes in when he saved there. So yeah. Well, only lost 7 levels, which is interesting, or like maybe 8 levels. I don't know, but he's around like level 30, I think he said. So. Yeah, very unfortunate, but it definitely something that happens.
Double go mode there. Heading into Opera House to kill this dragon, and then we'll probably be doing the same thing that Drinks Glue is doing right now.
Yep, so Glue gonna be slightly ahead, but definitely not by an insurmountable amount, because it's probably only about like 45 seconds to a minute to kill this and sit through the cutscenes and all the flying. Yep, there goes the white dragon.
Nani Gray, meanwhile, is going to get their go mode as well from Tizen Thief. And they are at how many checks? They'll be at 16 once they buy this Tizen Thief. So I don't know. I think that's a little too far away from Skip, right? What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna do Skip. I think this is a do it the old-fashioned way, walk through. So only about like 3 or 4 minutes, I think, to walk through it. So not the end of the world having to do all that walking, but definitely going to be a bit behind those two.
All right. Hopefully everybody can see the stream again and can hear us again. I mean, if you can't hear us again, then I don't know what to tell you. But
That would be a bit
we're
of a
okay
problem.
now. Yeah, so Taylor picking up that second dragon. Let's put that on the tracker there. Excuse me, third dragon. I must have forgotten one of them somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I think it must maybe ice dragon, I guess. Yeah, but still
Still no blue
no.
dragon.
Yep, blue or dirt dragon. Yeah.
So, by process of elimination, we have what? The other dragon in Kafka's Tower, or Fanatic's Tower, or Mount Zozo, or Phoenix Cave, right? Those are the other 4 spots. Kefka just coming down for a little practice run there.
Yeah, I was thinking, back to what Leo was doing. I was wondering, sort of, with needing the 3 checks, if like doing the other dragon and doing both dragons in Kefka's Tower was worth it, but probably not. I think it's. I mean, you could split your party in half and do the boss and both dragons, but I think that would probably be a bit of a risk. But
yeah, you're also not getting all of the XP and MP onto your full party either.
Mm-hmm. You could also do the Fanatic's Tower Dragon, because you don't need to go up there to. You don't need Straro to go up and do that fight, but yeah, it's just very unfortunate that was Gauss there. Obviously, if you knew it was Gauss, probably would definitely not have gone there. But Gauss can just be evil, and
Goddess is a run killer, as we just saw.
Yeah.
All right, so Drinks Glue showing off what the Kefka Tower skip does. It puts us on the switches right before the boss gauntlet. Saves us a lot of walking throughout the tower, so that's why it's preferred to runners. And we've got number 28. 24, sorry.
24, yep. One of those, It's one of the numbers. Which one?
I mixed the 2 bosses together.
Yep.
Okay, we have Arrow, which is a pretty Exploder strat.
Yep.
I once beat Magimaster with Exploder strats because I had nothing else. It was pretty ridiculous, and it definitely took a while. But Life 2 plus Exploder is always a lot of fun. All right, Nani Gray heading in the entrance way here, so they will be a little bit behind our other 2 runners, but not really by much. We got everybody in Kefka's Tower in under an hour. That is a very, very quick seed. In spite of all the shenanigans that's happened along the way.
Yep. All those all those objectives definitely give you a lot of power. So while it definitely can seem like it's a bit slow, when you pick up like the double Ragnaroks we saw, stuff like that, it can just speed up a ton. Interesting that Nani's going for those chests, or at least that one chest, but just generally speaking, there isn't that much.
Oh no, Glue. Throw on the Ragnarok.
That's good. Oof.
Oh, he's gonna go for runaway strats, perhaps? So the interesting thing about this fight is you can actually run away from this fight if you, during the transition between Ifrit and Shiva, you don't get any XP or MP for the fight, but you can end it rather quickly if you got nothing to deal with this. Glue, however, using the resources at his disposal in spite of not having ice magic there, so really good heads-up play from Glue to know how to get through that fight. Another way you can do it is if you hit Ifrit 5 times, the fight command, they will then switch over to Shiva, and then you could use your fire magic. So if you're ever stuck in that situation, that's another way you can get through it.
Ooh, chainsaw. Not the best tool, but it can be useful.
It might help in the Shiva fight, for Shiva fight.
Yep.
All right, so we did not see who is at the Inferno spot. that'll be new information for us here for Nani.
Yeah. No X potion. Getting some decent stuff at least from this chest.
Yeah. Usually, if you're looting in Kefka's Tower, you're in trouble. But getting some decent stuff here. All right, here we go. This is what I was hoping for.
Yeah, well, Atma's, I mean, he's a bit annoying, but generally speaking, not the worst. Although in Kefka's Tower, he definitely can unleash some annoying attacks like Murden. But thankfully, we have all those flame shields, so I think it will be fine. Sabin not so much, but I think he can do stuff like Quasar or Grand Train, which would be very painful.
Bad stuff.
Landslide as well, also very painful. Norse defense, that might kill. No, not quite. Yeah, I agree choosing choosing to break the flame shield. We have plenty of those. We kind of want him dead. We would not like or Goner. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. So no, that's definitely going to kill. So Goner will do split damage. So if Sabin was alive, there's a 700 damage. 700 HP is still not really enough. All right. Nani's showing us the other dragon here, and it is not Blue Durgan, so Blue Durgan is still outstanding somewhere.
Interesting to choose to take this on. Did choose to not take on the other dragon, but did only have one character in that lane, so maybe that might have probably been why. So nice using the fire too there to heal up a little bit with all those flame shields. But we got Drink School and Taylor Swifting entering basically frame for frame. Yeah, frame perfectly slashing each other. The Atma's there.
Yeah, GP Rain's not really going to help here because GP Rain is based on the HP that you've got. Apparently somewhere.
Interesting.
So we could switch back and forth now. If Edgar ever gets low HP again, we can now go to the Valiant Knife.
Oh, Southern Cross is going to heal, so we're good there.
The XP egg from that dragon for Nani Gray, a little bit late for that.
Yep. Still get 2 fights worth out of it. Might be a couple levels you need. Never know, but
yeah. What's weird in Kefka's Tower is I tend to try and not try and get levels from these fights in here, but instead, try and get through them as quickly as possible because your party is at their weakest in Kefka's Tower, right? So that's why I tend to usually equip, earrings instead. But yeah, you can use it to get some of your last levels in the tower here. And we got another annoying boss. I wouldn't say that this is going to be a problem for our team. It's just more annoying because there are 5 attackers.
I mean, they can confuse and zombie you, but yep, we got through it before they did anything nasty. But yeah, I mean, all it takes is a confusion into like a nasty attack, which something like the Offering or something, or like Zombie Sabin. Maybe. Bit of a problem, but I think he's not really a character we care about, so I don't think he's gonna do that much.
Yeah, so Taylor Swifting doing the more traditional put a party of 2 in the middle slot when you do the skip versus Drinks Glue went with a put my strongest character in the middle kind of thing, and you're seeing the difference here, right, where Taylor got through those other fights faster than Drinks Glue did. Part of it, obviously, is getting unlucky, but also part of it is party preparation, right? If you have a second decent character, maybe you don't end up dying in that Atma fight because there's more damage to go around to your characters.
Yeah, and just in general, like having to fight 2 bosses is 2 more chances for something scary like Poltergeist, or even Atma can be annoying, or Doomgaze or Magimaster, So definitely. I mean, obviously you don't know what boss is going to be where, but generally speaking, having to fight 2 bosses, I'd rather have the most characters possible, even if they're slightly weaker. But yep.
All right, here we go.
Glue, even with the Death Glue only going to enter Final Kefka only like 10, 15 seconds behind. Don't really know, unfortunately, what Taylor's time is, but well, you can base it off what Glue's time is. So they should.
I
I think
could
they.
try and put it on screen. The problem is that their cropping was very, very strange. So let's see.
Yeah.
Can we see it?
But yeah. Anyway, so game we like to play is
No. Can't
basically
see
how
it.
long how long it will take for them to do Final Kefka. My guess is going to be pretty quick, so I'm going to go 6 minutes and 48 seconds.
Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Sorry. Hold on. I hit the game. I hit the gameplay. I turned off the gameplay instead of the timer.
Well, Glue started at 59:40. I think Taylor's
started
about like 59:25 ish.
Yes.
On Glue time at least.
I feel like there's a Spaceballs reference of me turning off the whole movie here.
Case 2, generally don't see that too often, but it's always nice on this Kefka climb since there are 4 boss fights here. Generally speaking, in like a normal boss fight, you don't really have it for long enough for it to be worth wasting a turn, but definitely here, the increased speed is pretty massive. But anyway, so tier 1, killing people in specific order is definitely very important here. We want to doom the long claw arm there that we just did, because it is vulnerable to instant kills, also vulnerable to being petrified, if you have that as well. The head is weak to fire. You want to kill that because it will cast Quake if it's left last alive, and then the arm in the back there, the fist arm, short arm, it's generally will counter any time that you attack it with physical attacks, but doesn't do anything that nasty, so you always want to leave that for last. And Taylor doing that to perfection just about, and we'll be moving on to everyone's favorite tier 2. So in the bottom right,
showing off the power of the instant death there, taking a lot less turns to kill that one part of the boss.
Yep. So in the bottom right, we got Tiger there. Tiger is definitely the most annoying. They can Northern Cross you, which we saw from the Ice Dragon, can be very annoying. If you get like 3 or 4 people frozen, they can also zombie you when they're at low HP, which again can be very annoying. But he is weak to ice, so if you have ice shields or any ice spells, that can take him down fairly quickly. Hits, which is sitting on top of Tiger there, that blue guy. All he does is hit, really. He does not really worth worrying about too much. Only when he dies, he will counter with 10 hits, which is basically just 10 physical attacks. Tools in the middle, weak to instant death, so Doom, X-Zone, stuff like that. So you see the Doom trying to come out. He missed the first time, but works the second time. If you don't happen to have Doom, they are weak to electricity, and I believe water as well, or maybe wind, one of the two, but generally speaking, we aren't going to be seeing that very much. Magic in the back can be muted if you have mute or siren ability or sour mouth lore, but if you don't, then they'll be casting a bunch of annoying spells like elemental spells, and they can also cast things like muddle, which confuses you, which is very annoying, or stuff like sleep or stop, which can also be pretty annoying. When they are close to dying, they can counter with Dispel, which would get rid of that fun, Haste 2 we got, or Life 3 if you happen to get those. Oh, and there's a Doom Tusk, never fun to see. Hopefully Mog wasn't doing anything super annoying that could potentially land on the party. Then Magic, when they're very low, will also counter with Quarter, which reduces your health to 1/4 of whatever it is currently. So
I think Glue, you tried to use Taylor tried to use a Phoenix Down, which is not the correct item to get rid of the zombie status, so we'll have to see them recover a little bit here. But Glue does not have the instant death that Taylor does. I think we probably found that somewhere in Edgar's stuff, so Edgar's stuff finally paying off in the seed. We'll see how Nani Gray tackles this challenge here of Ifrit. Yeah, it does not have any ice magic for this first part, and has Gao, which makes this even worse. So We do have Wooly. We just have to hope that Wooly hits most of the time here.
Yeah.
10 hits coming out for Taylor, so that's hit dead.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't bother with
for Glue as well.
Rages.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Oof. Ooh, no, clutch block there. He wasn't last alive at least, so we would have had a chance to bring him back up regardless. Although,
yeah,
there's the fire tube to get him back up.
All right, Taylor just squeaking in there, but Drinks
Nice.
Glue will.
Nice runic on the dispel there.
Thanks for elongating that cast there, Gal.
We have some neck and neck still, going up into tier 3. So tier 3, we got Girl on the top there. Girl absorbs all 8 elements, so if you want to like Murden or anything, can't really do that to her. And you definitely she has 9,999 HP, but you're definitely gonna want to kill her first because if you happen to kill Sleep first, Girl will revive Sleep. So you never want that. We're just gonna chuck a Ragnarok to her face, I guess. You can actually steal a Ragnarok from her, I believe. And then I think Sleep has an Atma you can steal.
I don't remember which is which, but there is that possibility.
Yeah, we see the Murren fully healed him, unfortunately. Didn't quite kill.
But after the W wins, you kind of needed something to get your party up. All right, so there's Girl dead on both of our runners' accounts here, and we're going to use Fenrir to prevent the instant death calmness attack from Sleep. So really nice play here from both of them.
Yep, when Sleep dies, they cast the physical instant kill attack calmness up to 2 times. And so Image basically guarantees that any physical attacks will miss with a 25% chance of the image being worn off. So almost guaranteed that it will avoid it. And
all right, Taylor going right through the Meteo phase into calmness. That just having those little bit of extra levels there helping out, and we got a double kill. So Glue has to make a decision here. Do we keep going or do we recover? And it looks like we're going to try and recover.
Yeah. So one thing you can do, I didn't really mention, didn't have enough time to mention how the Meteo phase works, but you can do a revivify, put a revivify onto Sleep, and that will heal them back up outside of Meteo phase. But that's very unfortunate with the rage there. Because so basically when Sleep gets to 10,240 HP or below, they have a 33% chance of countering with Train, and which mutes and blinds your party, and a 33% chance of countering with Meteo on every single attack. And obviously we saw how much damage Meteo did there.
Not fun.
So
all right, we have Taylor Swifting, though, going into the final Kefka fight here. 60 and change thousand HP. We'll cast Fallen One on the first turn unless we do enough damage to it. And by enough, Taylor Swifting definitely has done enough here. That's a 30k HP threshold. So now Kefka's firmly in counterattack phase, so we're going to wait for him to charge for Goner, which means that he can't counterattack. So really nice play here from Taylor to have some patience. This final Kefka fight, a lot of the times it's step on the gas, then step on the brake, then step on the gas. It's quite different than a lot of the other fights in the rest of the game. But Taylor executing this perfectly here.
Yep, Kefka can't counter when charging for Goner, and then might have actually had it perfectly because and there it is, GG. Very nicely played by Taylor Swifting, and
1:07:58 in the official time. So GG's for Taylor Swifting. We'll see if we can get them in for an interview. So here's the Fallen One that we were talking about that Glue ended up being in because didn't have enough damage to kill off Kefka here. W win. That's a bold strategy gotten. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Okay, killed 2 of them. I don't understand what that was.
What is 1/4 of 1 HP? 1.
I guess.
We've got Taylor in the booth though. GG's. Congrats on that epic victory there. So
Thank you.
tell us a little bit about your strategy here for the Golden Chocobo flag set.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good bonuses available. We didn't have too many early. The key was just recognizing that I had the mover rage, which is obviously Merton, and got really lucky. I was in South Figaro with Eddie. I decided to loot the basement and take a flyer at maybe there being some kind of elemental shield there, and luckily there was flame shields, which kind of just put the whole rest of the scene in motion. So tried to typically in Golden I do a lot of dragons. In this seed I kind of just decided with Merton online, let's just try to get it unlocked quickly. And then we picked up Sabin towards the end there, so we were able to get a couple of the magic bonuses out of that as well. That was pretty much it. So. And we went for skip late. We had we needed the levels.
Yeah, the levels certainly helped you out, propel you through that final fight. Even though you and Glue were kind of neck and neck the whole time, you were able to just bypass Meteo phase, where Meteo did a number of damage on Glue. So those levels definitely coming in key towards the end of the seed there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one question. One question I had was with the start. Generally speaking, with Gal, like Serpent Trench is a great place to start. Obviously, with especially with having to get the bonus. Why did you choose to instead do Edgar's checks to start? I thought it was very interesting.
Oh yeah. I actually don't usually do Serpent Trench like right off the bat. So with a Gal start, one thing I like to do is just I often will just do the Vel check right off the bat in the Chocobo flag sets. You start with dried meat. You get, an Espero character, but I pretty rarely just head straight into the Serpent Trench check. And it didn't take me too long to realize that it was Serpent Trench gated. We went Edgar's checks and we did the mod checks, and it was looking pretty likely, which could be worse. So we just delayed that a little bit, and Serpent Trench could be pretty dangerous. Like I ran into those Doom Dragons. Which really propelled me in the South Figaro cave. But if you run into those in the Serpent Trench or something similar, it could be pretty dangerous. You can certainly run away, but it's just one of those checks where you hate to get a wipe on the third or the fourth encounter in there and lose all that time. So I think either is fine. Do it early or wait on it.
Oof, Gal barely surviving there on Glue's end, soloing versus Kefka, and it's gonna stay that way since Gal is raged. So, but I think that missed because of the image, thankfully.
Are the controllers down? Yep.
Yeah. You just have to hope for Merton. Yeah, I guess. Did you think of like starting with a dragon with all those flame shields, and the ice shields, trying to fight with one of those to start, or just want to do a check instead?
I usually will start on Tritok Cliff, or I'll start at Opera House. I guess we were going to Eddie's checks, so I figured I'd get a dragon there.
Yeah.
I've been lately tinkering with maybe delaying my dragons a little bit, because the experience that you get, a lot of times I'll take 2 or 3 dragons early, and the experience that you get is pretty minimal on low scaling. If you can wait a little bit, and like doing the dragons at the end for me, really the experience and the levels that I got was probably more significant than had I done them early. So, but I think either is fine. We had an ice shield. We had a couple extra flame shields too. We probably could have taken a dragon pretty easily. So.
Yep, I should also mention GG's to Glue. Let me just check to see what their official time was. 1:12:31. So, yeah, unfortunate that bit slow, and they're losing 2 people to tier 3, but still a very good showing by Glue. Hopefully we'll get them in as well. Let's see. I guess any other thoughts on the seed, Taylor? Or...
Not really. It was a really fun flag set. I like the golden. Probably, I think most people will gravitate towards it. It's just got the most speed. It's got the most perks and bonuses. I think it's really fun. So we all really like it. We're all kind of competing for a personal best, and I think there's some 58s and some 57s floating around. And probably a hard limit might be around 55 or 54. So
yeah, definitely sub-hour in like any sort of standard, semi-standard flag set, definitely always very impressive. So see that people have been doing that shows how much people have been grinding it out, and just how good a lot of these players are. But yes, any other thoughts going into the tournament, which starts on Saturday?
I am both excited and nervous.
Seeing how much you've been practicing, I think you're going to be pretty good at this. But yeah, it's always nerve-wracking going into any sort of tournament match. Yeah. See if we can get glue in shortly, or if they're. Yeah, meanwhile, Nani finishing as well, 114.27. Very good on them. See if we can get. Oh, yep. Here we go. Welcome in, Glue. GG's. Very nip and tuck end there. As you want to go through that a bit.
I don't know what was successful about it. It was never in doubt.
Yeah, the auto. Did you put down your controller once everyone else died and it was just Gao?
I put down my controller multiple times. I've never almost died to Ice Dragon before. Probably not since like 1995. So that was a first, or a very long first almost.
I think Taylor also got triple frozen, but thankfully they had fire on their other person, so they got through it pretty quickly. But yeah, I guess just thoughts on the seed in general.
It was a pretty fun seed because like that may have been the earliest I've ever been able to successfully cast Merton in World's Collide. It's like the 4-minute mark where they have Merton and an Ice Shield and 2 Flame Shield. That was really fun. The rest of it was downhill after that. Just like unfortunate wrong order of operations. Running into Welk when if I just fight Welk with one spot after this, Welk is just gonna go down into your turn. So he went to a shell. So I was like, let's just go another spot real fast. Let Gal get a few magic points. And he'll come back and 1 or 2 shot him or whatever. And then the Goddess fight was particularly brutal because the Flame Shields had to go. And once the Flame Shields had to go to get through Goddess, couldn't Merton anymore. Any more chances of Merton was out the window for the foreseeable future. And yeah, so.
Yes, I saw you started your first, well, not excluding the Gao check, the vault check. You started your first check like 5 minutes in. Was that, just like seeing that you had like full Merton and you're just like, all right, I have enough stuff, or is that trying to make up for the reset at the beginning, or what?
One of the benefits of messing up the belt check right you start is that you can free sneak peek into your rages. So I think I saw Wooly and Fire 2. And I was like, okay, well, those are good enough. I didn't see the Merton one until the second time through, so it was just happenstance. Like, you're gonna buy discount 50,000 fire flame shields anyways, because it was just do your 2 free checks, make sure you don't miss anything, and we'll run South Figaro. If something really cool was there I couldn't afford, I just do the basement, and luckily there was enough money in the castle alone to get the flame shields and I think an extra earring or 2, and then just go.
Yes. So moving a bit later on, obviously you had the unfortunate wipe there at Atma. You chose to have only one character there. What was your thought process behind that, given those mid lane there are 2 bosses there?
Oh, Edgar with the Atma offering Flame Shield is going to get through any boss eventually. It might take a reset or 2. He just, if I had realized the first time he could wear the Valiant Knife, then the landslide is a blessing, but the landslide into the Goner is just unfortunate because I didn't realize the Valiant Knife situation first.
Yeah, where did you pick up that Valiant Knife anyway? I was not paying attention. I just saw it in your inventory.
It was one of the Kefka tower drops.
Okay.
Either the Atma spot or the Gold Dragon spot.
Yeah, I think that's about all I got. Given that you are the commissioner of this, any thoughts you want to give on the tournament or preview or anything like that?
No, well, first off, Taylor's disqualified tonight. He distracted me with a very passive-aggressive stream title. I wasn't expecting that. But Nevertheless, no, this is fun. I had fun racing Taylor, fun racing Leo, and Nani, who is about to come up here as well. They're all very talented players. I'm excited to play with them tonight. Excited to play with them in the future, and everybody else, because it's a pretty tremendous field of people that have signed up, and really looking forward to it.
GG's both of you. We'll see if we can get Nani in here very shortly. And
Just one question. What were you doing on my stream title?
What was that?
What were you doing looking at my stream title? Oh,
I wanted to see if you're going to insult me.
oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, any other thoughts you guys have while we wait for Nani a bit?
No, GG's again. Thank you to Schwantz. Thank you, Darkness, for doing comms. Thank you, SpeedGaming, for allowing us to do our and here tonight. Appreciate all of y'all.
I guess I should mention to y'all that Leo, I don't know if you guys would have noticed, but Leo unfortunately wiped to Goddess and hadn't saved in 20 minutes, so that's unfortunately why they didn't finish. But yeah, very sad. But I think they would have been like neck and neck with you guys as well. So, but still, it's a very good race. You guys were basically entering tier 3 simultaneously, and just unfortunately that unfortunate luck with you Glue taking those meteors to the face that was the big difference there at the end.
Nothing unfortunate about it. It was all part of the master plan.
Did definitely cut into your time a little bit though, unfortunately. But you know that happens. Yeah, sorry. Trying to. Oh, all right. There. Now we got Nani Gray in. Welcome in. GG's. S. What were your thoughts on the seed? If you're talking, we cannot hear you. So, maybe they're having Discord issues or something. But hopefully we get that sorted out shortly. All right.
Am I audible now?
Yep. Yes, I hear you now. Okay.
Okay, I'm on a much worse mic than usual, but kind of an emergency backup.
Yeah,
all right.
It's all good.
So
I'll be it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say my answer to your to the question. My thoughts on the seed, mover. I like the mover.
Yeah, that was definitely a theme for everyone. Was mover and flame shields for sale at half price. Was lots of Merton spam.
Yeah, even though I did find myself falling victim to the age-old problem of everybody has to do something, and well, I'm pretty sure you saw it in the final battle where Merton healed everybody up, and yet I still queued on Mantra. But yeah, other than that, I think the main thing that my main lament was the lack of stat espers, really. And I kept getting this really bad feeling that eventually I was going to run into an enemy that was resistant to fire. And then what?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, moment. I got a bunch of background noise here.
Yeah. That's all good. But whenever you're ready next, I guess does all the objectives change your strategy as as a whole more, besides just choosing specific checks more often, or?
Kind of. I this time I got it was a conscious choice to last location Daryl's. When I did finally get Saban, I beelined to both Colts and Falls because I had such a magic heavy build, and that extra plus 30 to magic, you know, it yeah, it really gave me a much needed boost. But yeah, other than that, that's basically the size of it. I don't really put a whole lot of. I probably should put more importance on the item based ones. Tritalk, Serpent Trench. Those ones.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
But more often I find myself chasing the stats.
Yeah, I guess so. Are you signed up for the tournament? And if so, what are your thoughts on going into that with it starting Saturday?
Well, I am signed up, but honestly, my mind has kind of been blank on the matter. It's one of those, what happens will happen. But if these races been at the showcase races have been any indication, it's probably going to be pretty interesting.
Any final thoughts? Or?
No, nothing springs to mind.
Yeah. Well, in that case, GGs to all three of you, and Leo, who unfortunately did not finish. Yeah, again, thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting this for us. Thanks to the Schwans, who unfortunately can't sign off with me, but for doing the tracking and commentating and setting this all up. So massive thanks to him. It's also like 6 a.m. where he is. So
right.
Yes. So I think he's probably getting ready for work at this point. But so yeah, thanks for Schwans for doing so much work for us, despite his recent cross the planet move. And that's about all I got. Thank you all for watching, and thanks to you three and Leo for racing. And yep, see y'all hopefully next Wednesday. GG's.